twins, foxy boxing in flimsy lace panties, a spike punch that caused crazed half-naked orgies, household chores cheerfully performed in the nude. Sexy films come of age in the 60s tonight on Nudie Cuties, only on USA's Real Wild Cinema. I'm Sandra Bernhard, and you know my motto, any excuse to get naked. Like tonight, for example, it's Nudie Cutie night. We'll be showing the best naughty films of the 60s, all tightly trimmed for your maximum viewing pleasure. Speaking of viewing pleasure, I just look my finest in my birthday suit. It's made of natural fibers, free of stains, permanent press, and I don't have to deal with those irritating dry cleaning bags. I began embracing my body about the time that an open, healthy, lusty attitude for sex became accepted in films. Our first feature from 1964, Dr. Sex, is an early example of these nouveau nudie films about a leering sex therapist. The film's main purpose was to show a woman stripping to her knickers. It was written by Wayne Rogers, an early career effort for the guy who played Trapper John on TV's MASH. And talk about Freudian slip. Men are dogs and dogs are men in this gaping view of Wayne's apparently guilt-racked psyche.
Now, Mr. Baltimore, you're saying that you're constantly obsessed with erotic impulses.
Yes, everywhere I go, I see things that excite me.
Mm-hmm. Such as what?
Beautiful legs, a girl adjusting her stockings, and other sensuous things.
Baltimore, these are perfectly normal reactions for any healthy male. However, has there ever been a time when you felt as though these sensual feelings might completely overcome you?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, I was in this girl's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I heard her coming in the outer door, so I dashed under the bed. She came into the bedroom and turned on the lights. I thought at first she must have heard me, but apparently not, because she casually flipped on the radio and went straight to her closet to undress. I figured she must have been getting ready to go out for the evening, since she was looking at 2 or 3 dresses she might wear. Then it hit me. This beautiful girl was going to be completely undressed, and I would see her. Doctor, I was gnashing my teeth like a German shepherd. I could hardly wait. Man, what a body.
I understand your frustrations, Mr. Baltimore. These feelings of temptation, you've repressed them for so long that they've built up to such proportions that now it's very difficult for you to contain them and they overwhelm you. However, your problem is not extraordinary. I'm sure we can help you. Miss Plum, you can tell the party that the patient's ready to leave now. And Miss Plum, let's make an appointment for him for a week from today. So, Mr. Baltimore, we'll see you next week. Come in.
Hello, Doctor. Is my little man ready yet? Oh, my little Mr. Baltimore, my honey. Oh.
You understand my problem now, Doctor? Why I must become a man?
Tell the doctor we'll see you next week. Goodbye, Doctor.
Wayne, what were you thinking with that close-up of a little white bunny wearing pearls and carrying a bouquet of flowers? Weird even by real wild cinema standards. Next, we take a look at the film geniuses whose creative commitment made our next film a low-budget classic.
I don't know when I've seen such lousy acting or more phony scenery.
But who notices when the film is cast with women who can't wait to take it all off for the camera? More nudie cuties when we come back. Welcome back to Real Wild Cinema. There's a scene in our next film that reminds me of my favorite casting session story. A very well-known director calls in some gorgeous young actresses. But instead of reading a few lines, he asked them to strip, turn around, bend over, and spread them. I guess he was looking to fill the part of a real... Should have cast himself. Our next picture, 1963's Boing, was made by the renowned filmmaking tandem that was on the cutting edge of the 60s nudie cutie movement, David Friedman and Herschel Gordon Lewis. They parody themselves in the story of two inept filmmakers who decide to cast and shoot a film within a film called Nature's Nudniks. Confused? You won't be after seeing Boing!
There you are. A great picture. One of the worst I've ever seen.
Sensational. I don't know when I've seen such lousy acting or more phony scenery.
Yeah. I bet there's girls falling all over themselves just to get one of those pictures. You know, Bob, I bet we can make a movie as good as that.
Or as bad. I guess we could.
Hey, why don't we? Hey, you look kind of dark. Where'd you get that makeup?
In the cabinet on the shelf on the left.
That wasn't makeup. That was soy sauce.
Soy sauce? But it says S-O-Y. Smear on yourself.
So what do we do? Oh, we got some. Let's shoot it. Roll 'em!
Now, today we're going to make the scenes that bring the people into the theater.
What are you going to make, popcorn?
Now, here's what you do. First, you climb up the sheer side of that mountain up there, hand over hand, up the rocks. But you gotta make it fast, dear. We're very short on film as it is. Okay, now you're up on the highest point, the top of the mountain, and you draw yourself up to your fullest height, balancing there as you stand. Now, up go your hands and you make this tremendous dive. But you gotta be careful, Francine, and dive far out, way out from those sharp crags on the way down. Now, as you hit the water, you've also got to be careful to miss those submerged rocks there and there and there. Now you're in the water, and you're home free, swimming home to us and safety on the shore, pulling the rowboat with your teeth. You think you can do it?
Oh, Mr. Stevens, I can do anything for a director like you.
All right, my girl. Then get out there and do it. All right now, fellas. Now she's starting up the mountain, so, let's get ready. When we start to roll that thing, I want it all in one, remember?
All right.
All right.
Be careful
Look
there.
out,
Watch it now.
Francine. There goes the swimsuit.
She slipped on that rock
Hang
there.
on, girl. That's it.
She ripped it on that.
Good.
Oh, she ripped
Get
it
out
on
of the
there.
way,
There goes the
Francine.
swimsuit.
Look out. Look out.
Oh,
There she goes.
What's
What a great form!
Oh, boy, what a great dive.
I think I'm gonna get sick.
What a dive!
Was I all right, Mr. Stevens?
Francine, you were wonderful. Sensational. I've never seen a better shot in my life. All right, girls, take 5 minutes off. Come in, girls. Come and take Francine to the showers. Take 5 minutes off and come on right back. We'll make another scene. Thank you, dear.
Boy, you know, that was a great shot. That'll be the best one in the whole movie.
It'll make this picture.
Say, Schmertz, what's this thing anyway?
Oh, that's a lens cap.
What's it for?
It keeps the light out of the camera.
Oh,
Where'd you find it?
over the lens. Oh,
I hope you noticed that all the male actors in this film look like Dennis the Menace's father. I noticed none of them had their clothes off. Good thing. The only purpose of nudie cutie films was to get naked female skin up on the screen. Next up, Exhibit A. A ladies' tea party turns into a wanton, gyrating orgy of oversized see-through panties.
Girls, what are you doing?
During this commercial break, my guest Russ Meyer and I will be having a sip of some orgy juice. Goes down smooth. You'll see what I mean right after this. Welcome back to Real Wild Cinema.
You ask if I love you. I thought that you knew. I've woven your image in all that I do. I've cherished each kiss, those moments of bliss.
Men often tell me that I'm a nudie cutie. Even out on the streets, where I sometimes parade in front of random construction site at noon, stripped bare, loudly calling out, "Who wants lunch?" I just love being a sex symbol. But back when most of these films were made, the sex symbols were a bit more voluptuous. and leave it to a man like Russ Meyer to take that absolute extreme with movies like Mudhoney and Faster, Pussycat, Kill, Kill. Welcome back, Russ. I'm so glad you're here again.
My pleasure.
What a thrill. What's unique about the Russ Meyer film of the 60s?
Big bosoms and square jaws. That's about it. The man with the square jaws. Charles Napier, 16 more teeth than Burt Lancaster.
They really crammed him in, huh? That's incredible. I don't feel that they are, but people always want to know, do you feel your films are exploitative?
If anything, I think more make a big point of make something good out of them and popular, and exciting. I'm not they're there because they'll work for me without any question because they're not going to be put down.
They're a reflection of our
culture. And the women are always in charge. The men are the klutzes.
Exactly.
Use
Interesting.
the man. Use him.
Interesting.
Break him in two. That's it. That's fine.
I love that. And why did you get into filmmaking? What inspired you? Was there another filmmaker, or was it just something that...
Oh, I was an amateur, and then war came along. Loved the war. Didn't want the war to end. It went on and on, but not nearly all.
Honey, if I had it my way, the war would still be going on, says Russ Myers. I love that.
Well, it was great.
Why did you like the war? You felt safe?
It's exciting. No, very exciting. I felt an opportunity to create something in the way of history. And I landed in D-Day, 29th Infantry, and I just thought the whole thing was so exciting.
And you were right there. You were right there with your camera.
There was a lot of guys.
It.
I just happened to be a guy that was taking pictures. That's all, you know.
In your wildest moments, did you ever think the world would be the way it is? Did you foresee it?
I don't think it's all that raucous or
no, it's not.
Exciting.
It's boring.
Yeah, really? No,
that's what I'm saying. Did you ever predict that the world
would
descend into such mediocrity and banality? When you were there, creating the hottest, most titillating
that's good
cinema possible?
Well, I just made the kind of film I liked, and I used the ladies that I most ardently admired.
Sure.
That's right, yeah.
Are there any actresses today that you would feel compelled to put into?
I would be more inclined to use people that were from the stage or strippers and so forth. There are a lot
I'm right there with you.
Carry-on stripper types, marvelous looking
That's
girls.
Where the talent lies.
And, you know, the accoutrement is awesome.
No kidding.
Yeah, you don't have to exaggerate.
No, and that's what I like. You don't have to fake it.
No.
That's the beauty of it. Now tell me something. Do you feel like your films are serious or big send-ups? How did you look at it?
They're both a send-up, and also I'm very serious about it as a filmmaker.
Right, of course you are.
I've done well. The pictures go extremely well, and they live. That's the important thing.
Russ, with all my heart, thank you for coming back on the show. It was beautiful. Thank you, sweetie.
I look forward to this. Seriously.
And I was looking forward to
I got the staff at the office. They think it's going to be, but I think it'll play later, you know.
Thank you so much.
Searching.
Beautiful.
Good.
Next, one of director Barry Mahan's fine films. An educator, Barry's often enlisted his film students to help out on special featurettes, the kind of extra credit the rest of us only dream of. Here's One Quart Instant Orgy. Drink up.
What do you think?
Well, if everyone else agrees, I'm for it too.
Thank you. What about you?
I'm for it.
What do you think about it?
Well, I'm for it.
Good. That makes 5-4. Nobody against. It's great. It's unanimous. How about some refreshments?
Great!
I have a wonderful punch in the next room. Thank you for coming. I'm really glad you're here.
That was an excellent suggestion you made. I really must commend you. This is very good punch. What have you got in it?
Fabulous. What is some booty? This is delicious.
It's making me warm all over.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
That's funny. I never heard that before. Of course, I haven't tried any since I've been on my diet. How do you feel?
This is marvelous.
How do you feel?
I feel wonderful. But I'm so hot.
Girls, what are you doing? Girls! Angie, really? Somebody turn on the radio. Well, let's dance. Yeah!
Next on Real Wild Cinema, two Frenchmen butcher both the English language and the acting profession.
The best things, the best things in life are free.
Real Wild Cinema resorts to the international language, and then a film legend, Vampira the Original, will be here. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Real Wild Cinema. In our next film, What the Frenchman Saw, Antoine and Pierre are the Beavis and Butthead of the 50s. They get to see a lot of skin, make hilarious commentary about it, wish they could get next to it, and always miss their chance. Check out the fishing scene where the lovely young lady is either having a seizure or doing a very interesting impression of what a fish might look like on the end of a hook. Here's What the Frenchman Saw.
Bonjour, monsieur. The story I'm about to tell you is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the guilty from their wives. We were just about to dine on this fine French cooking when suddenly I noticed that Antoine seemed a trifle upset. And following the line indicated by his trembling finger, sacre bleu! Ah, truly, Antoine, the best things, the best things in life are free. Shh, Claude, we shall watch unobserved and see what these two lovelies are up to. No, don't you see? She's going to catch a fish.
Pierre, what is that one planning to catch? You know what I think? I think,
Oh, shut up, Antoine. You think too much. I don't know. That's some of the best angling I've ever seen.
Oh, the poor Jean-Phil. She got a little behind in her work.
Aha, the other one comes to the rescue. Oh, she's going to have an accident. She must have lost her balance. Oh!
Ah, and maybe she'll do something else too, Pierre. One can hope.
Luck is not with us, Antoine. She's still intact.
Do not despair, Pierre. The other one approaches. Pierre, what is that she has on the end of her pole?
Oh, we have them both together. The girls, I mean. Oh, what a pair of knobs. They are truly magnificent. Look how they glisten in the sunlight.
Pierre, do you see what she is about to do now? Ah, she is having trouble. Enough of this, I will help her. Ah, we've been discovered. It's every man for himself. Run for your life. Wait, we make a big mistake. Let us go back.
Antoine, that was close. Oh, here they come again.
Here they come.
Go.
Here they come.
Run.
Goodbye now. Sacre Dieu. Nom de Dieu.
As a late-night hostess of underground movies, I owe a huge debt to my next guest. She did this before anyone else. The first, the original, the only, Vampira. Welcome to Real World Cinema. What a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us, how did the character of Vampira originate? Where did she come from?
Oh, well, she came from my fantasy, which was deeply parched during the Depression. I lived in poverty and in a culture that was pragmatic. Nobody had any imagination, nobody had any money, there was no glamour, there was no fantasy. Oh, it was dreadful. So I had to escape somewhere, and I escaped into the comic books. We had Terry and the Pirates, and there was the Dragon Lady, who was my heroine.
That's brilliant.
You're like the Dragon Lady in many ways.
That's fabulous.
You like being like the Dragon Lady?
Of course, sure.
So that was part of it. That was the beginning, you know. But I was maybe 13, 14. And then along came the evil queen, who was imperious, in full control, cool. You know, she was everything poor little scraggly, scrawny I was not, you know. And it was my escape. I became the evil queen in my mind.
Describe being a celebrity in the 50s for me.
Oh, well, for me, it was really thrilling because the world at large was like wearing a corset and too much hairspray. Everything was stifled and stilted. And I guess I don't appear to be, but I'm a wild one.
I can imagine. I can imagine there were moments.
So it was a chance to come out of the closet and be my, you know, be free-spirited and do wild things. Well, society was appalled, but they loved it too, you know.
Of course they did.
Yeah,
There's that love-hate thing.
Oh, sure. I had publicity all over the world.
Wow.
You know, from a local show, which was quite remarkable. We didn't spend money on publicity. We didn't need to. Everybody wrote about it. They said, what is this? You know.
It just happened organically. It's beyond belief.
Right.
Describe your experience in Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh, yes. Well, I had been already boycotted in the industry for being too outlandish. You know, that was not really acceptable, politically correct. And I was not working and I was broke. And some guy came to my house and said, this is for you. It was $201 bills, you know, a big stack. And I was trying to live on $13 a week.
That's brilliant.
That looked like a lot of money to me. He said, it's for a film called Grave Robbers from Outer Space. And he told me that Ed Wood, he told me about Ed Wood. Well, I was vaguely aware of him, and I thought he was way beneath my dignity. But the $200 was not beneath my dignity.
You're darn right.
I said, I'll do it, but then I couldn't say the words. I couldn't bring myself to say the words. So I said, could I be mute? Could I be a mute vampire? I said, sure, baby, we're just using your name. So that was how it came
That
to
is
be.
fabulous. Give me your perspective on the ups and downs on fame and celebrity in Hollywood.
Not for everyone.
That's for sure.
Yeah, but I love it. You know, God, it has its pain, the pain, but you know, in any kind of life, whatever you do, the pain digs the well deeper. The deeper the well, the greater the vessel to hold joy. And I'm
Beautiful.
glad. I'm
That's
glad.
so right on.
I'm glad.
I don't know where else we can go. I think that says it all, Vampira. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Next on Real Wild Cinema, one man's fantasy with two half-naked twins.
They didn't bat an eyelash or say a word, but just started in like a couple of professionals.
These pussyfooting wrestlers promise to give you a full Nelson when we return. Welcome back to Real Wild Cinema. Now this is such a deja vu. I'm a curvaceous cosmonaut just pulled up alone at an unknown planet Hollywood. Hordes of alien males threaten me with their long probes. Dazed, I begin stripping, and my bump and grind seems to appease them. Imagine my surprise when I found out my first date was also the plot of this 1963 Italian film, Moonstrip.
Here's a woman who gads about in outer space. Following the example of Russia's space girl Valentina, thousands of women pilot their space capsules through the galaxy. But look, our girl cosmonaut has landed on an unknown planet inhabited by monstrous beings. All she can see are their antennae, horrible antennae with greedy red eyes at their ends. Poor girl, there's not even a policeman in sight to whom she can say, "Officer, arrest that man if he doesn't take his dirty antennae off me." How can she save herself? Oh yes, there is a way. The woman of the 21st century will get out of her difficulty just exactly as her prehistoric sister did. It's an infallible system, as we all know, a cosmic striptease. And the monstrous inhabitants of this remote planet fall for it too, because they are, well, what are they? Men? Males? Anyhow, they all appreciate feminine charms. There's no doubt about that, as you can see from their ogling little button eyes. Button, Burton, oh well.
Apparently, the aliens in tonight's show are Europeans. Here's another Takeoff featuring a bad French accent. Crazy camera. Oui.
One day, Pierre is in his studio, preparing to work with his model, Jeanette. He was very anxious to try a camera he had just bought in the flea market. Pierre did not pay much for this camera, because Pierre has the nose for a bargain. Pierre had started to pose Jeanette, messieurs, when a most unusual thing happened. Pierre could not believe his eyes. Could it be that Jeanette is sans clothes? Impossible. There, the clothes are back on. This is a little game she plays. But how does she do this? Sacre bleu, this is no game. Pierre is convinced that he is having the delusion.
I'll never understand these Lothario cameramen. Just make love to my lens, baby. In our next clip, Naked Fury, a photographer with a bad comb-over whose idea of art is two slap-fighting twins in trashy lingerie. Here's his one-man, two-women show.
In order to make a living, a freelance photographer is forced sometimes to accept all sorts of different and unusual assignments. Such was the case last week. I had done some high-fashion work in the morning when a call came for me to turn out a set of stills for Sensational magazine. What they wanted would require two models who were very good sports. The twins had worked for me before, doing cheesecake and some nude figure work, but to date hadn't been required to do anything too strenuous. This would all change before the evening was over. I got them on the backdrop and had them remove their shoes. Then I told them what I wanted them to do. Wrestle. That's right. Wrestle with each other. They didn't bat an eyelash or say a word, but just started in like a couple of professionals. Surprisingly, I didn't have to tell them how to do a thing. They seemed to know quite a few holds and how to apply them. If they could keep on doing this well, it'd be only a short time before I'd have more than enough shots for the magazine. I thanked them for being such good sports about the whole thing and left them to get dressed while I went to make out their checks. I really couldn't figure out why they were so willing and at the same time were so good at wrestling. Had I been in the dressing room, I would have found out.
Next, Real Wild Cinema's world-famous coming attractions are going to fulfill your every desire.
Choice women from the flesh pots of the world, each with her own specialty, and you can have them all.
Stay with us. There's lots more Real Wild Cinema coming up.
Join the Real Wild Cinema Fan Club. You will be dazzled by a catalog of hundreds of uncut, uncensored, outrageous movies that we can't show on TV. Send $5 to our membership card, catalog, and newsletter, or order the Real Wild Cinema t-shirt for $15, plus $4.95 shipping and handling, and get your membership for free. Send check or money order to Real Wild Cinema, P.O. Box 65073, Seattle, Washington 91155. You will join the Real Wild Cinema Fan Club.
Welcome back to Real Wild Cinema. Sometimes the best things come in short doses, like my vivacious personality. So let's get right to tonight's trailers of coming attractions. Oh no, not another French accent.
Paris, the city of plenty. Lots of things happening and plenty to do, even if it's just standing around and taking in the sights. Without going any further, you can just bet that there are plenty of sights to be seen. The improbable Mr. Ouija. And he is the improbable. This motion picture is the most improbable motion picture that you will ever see. This is the madcap story of a wild, way-out photographer who falls in love with a common, everyday store window mannequin. And the day that his love is discovered to be missing, the roof falls in. And our madcap photographer is off to Europe in what turns out to be the year's funniest, sexiest, wildest, and merriest chase in motion picture history. The improbable things that happened to our young lover could never happen again in a million years. That is, we're sure they couldn't. But then we're not sure they wouldn't. Well, anyway, for your own pleasure and enjoyment, don't miss the improbable Mr. Ouija. Where love is, that's where Ouija is, and both are everywhere. Springtime in Paris means amour time, and then everyone gets into the act. For fun and excitement and beautiful girls and all in breathtaking color, see the improbable Mr. Ouija.
Where sin begets sin. Nobody cares who does what to whom. Stripped of all inhibitions, everybody swings. No matter what your kick is, you name it, they've got it. Take them and get out of here.
Where sin lives.
They couldn't wait to get into the hotbed of pleasure. Charged up, sex-crazed women, driven by bizarre desires. Choice women from the flesh pots of the world, each with her own specialty, and you can have them all.
Get away from me! Let go!
Where violence begets violence. Where for just one night of twisted pleasures, men turn into beasts.
Where sin lives.
I just rubbed myself all over with a bottle of soy sauce. Now I'm going to climb up on this banister, wearing only my panties, and leap down to the street, making sure not to land on any studio executives below. I hope the film crew remembers to take off the lens cap to capture my death-defying stunt, so I can meet you back here next time for more real wild cinema. Good midnight to ya.